What's up, YouTube? This is FJ55 here. Thanks for clicking on my video. I do appreciate you spending the time to look at this. This isn't going to be another kind of like tactical or anything like that EDC video. This is, I guess you'd call it EDS video, everyday shaving video. Most guys and ladies out there, some, if you're like Frida, you gotta shave every day, especially if it's for work. Like most guys, I've experimented with a lot of them. I even tried a little bit with a cutthroat razor or a straight edge razor. I might go back to that sometime. I'm not quite comfortable doing that just yet. But like everyone else, I started with disposable razors when I was like 8th grade, tearing up my face, getting really hot, and used just regular like ivory soap, which of course, as you find out the hard way, it really burns. What you see here is where I'm at right now, and a little bit of what I started with. And for many, many years, through the military and then in my personal life, I used the Gillette system. You know, first it was the single blade, disposable ones, and then it was the 2-blade, then the 3-blade, and the Mox, and all this crap. They work okay. Nothing wrong with them at all, but they are disposable, the entire unit for the most part, and they're very expensive for a tiny little piece of razor blade. I don't see the value in that. And I came to the wiseness of that probably in 2002 when I first started researching different ways to shave that don't cost as much, because I was tired of spending $30 every month. I shaved quite a bit. I ran into the old school of shaving, ones like my grandfather used to use, which is double-edged safety razors that came out, I think it was in the mid or early 1800s, as an alternative to the straight razor. I use this now. I've been using it since 2003, this exact one. This is a Merkur, M-E-R-K-U-R, adjustable right here, the little yellow part. And it's a clone of the old Fat Boy, because it has a wider handle. The old ones had really skinny handles, and it's a shorty, not the extra long handle about like this. It works perfect for my hand, and it's not too heavy or awkward as well. What you need to shave with this is you don't have to use any shaving cream or shaving soap or anything like that. You can actually use olive oil, and I did that for a long time, but it started building up in the pipes of my house. I'd use olive oil when I go camping usually, because I have an oil of some type anyways, usually olive oil. Let's get into it. So the razor. This is a double-edged safety razor. Screw this counterclockwise and keep going and going and going and going until it releases. And it comes into 2 parts. It's combed slightly, not aggressive or anything, and that is to straighten out your hairs while you're shaving. The top part, or the head, has 2 posts to retain the 2 spots on the razor plus the shaft that's threaded that adjusts it and locks it down completely for travel. I tried these ones out, Lords. They're really not that good. As it turns out, they're made in Pakistan too. Not too happy about that. Not impressed. They don't last long. They don't do that good of a job. They're kind of crap, in other words. Better than nothing though. To put it back in, of course you put the razor blade over the post, slide this on top, and then screw it down all the way. This is the way I was shown, so this is just the way I do it all the time. And I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, you can kind of see that. That little indentation is what you line up the numbers that go all the way around. It goes 1 through 5. So I start cranked all the way down, and I go past 5, and I go 1, 2, and either 3 or 3.5, depending how thick my beard is. And it creates enough. It's not a huge amount, not super aggressive. Oops, kind of went off camera there. But it works really well. There is a learning curve with this. You will get razor burn if you twist your hand while you're doing a short downstroke and you get on the edges. Some razor blades aren't made to match every single razor, and you'll get cut. And it cuts you quick. Doesn't hurt too bad because, well, it's a razor blade. I'm about to try out these. These are Treats Platinums. Never used this specific brand myself, so we'll see how they are. Not hold my breath on them. They are also made in Pakistan, so I'm sure they'll be just as crappy as the Lord ones. Did a lot of research over the years. By research I mean trial and error. And I found these on eBay. This is where I buy them. I buy them once every 1 or 2 years, and I buy 50 to 100 blades at a time. They come in this nice little carrier, and on the back side here, this little opening is for your spent cartridges. So you put your used up razor blade in there, When you're all done, you just throw the whole dang thing in the trash. Works really well. These are feather. They're made in Japan, and it's surgical steel. It's a high stainless with a platinum coated blade. They last a long time. They're super fine. They're smooth. They're the best ones I've found so far without spending, $20, $30 on some super high qualities. I don't see the point in it. Brushes. You're going to need a brush if you're going to do old school style. This is the first one I bought. It's a natural fiber. I don't have a synthetic one. This one is boar's belly, and it's just that. This is the fur from the belly of the boar. It's okay. I mean, it worked for a couple of years until I got sick and tired of these. The ends are a little stiffer, so they'll poke you, especially if you have slightly sensitive skin like I do. So that makes it a little more difficult. This is an Omega. I liked it because it was shiny and silver, and I didn't know any better. But it does work. I'm not impressed. What I did upgrade to is a whole set. Came with a cup and the brush. This cool handmade pottery. It was Urban Cowboy. And this is actually not the highest grade silver tip badger hair, but this is on the underbelly. This is probably a mid-grade silver tip, and do your own research on it. There's plenty of videos. It's great. Great pile. Holds its shape very well. And the point of this is, why do you have two different types? Really, does it matter? Yes, it does. If you take this one and dunk it in the water and pull it out, it drains and drains and drains. It doesn't hold the water that well. Shake it out a little. But if you take a silver tip or a badger hair brush, this is why these are so popular, and a lot of them are extremely expensive. They go way up in the hundreds sometimes. You dip it in your hot water, you pull it out. Notice the difference there? A slight difference. It's going to hold the water more, and you can tell these hairs are about half as long and it holds twice as much water. It's really heavy, and you really have to shake it out. That's important for building up a lather. This is my backup one, because the one that came with this got broken. Unfortunately, it's made out of pottery also. I use this when I go camping. If I take shaving soap, it's just an aluminum measuring cup with a handle. It works awesome. You just can't get a lot of circumference to whip it up really well if you have hard water. All I do is you take your brush, swirl around on top of your soap. I don't know if you can see, I got a little bit in there. It's starting to run out. My water here in the Rocky Mountains is really good water. Some places have crappy water. It'll take you a long time to build up a lather. You'll get a lather pretty much right away, but you want to keep going until you get stiff peaks. If you're a cook, you know what that means. If you're not a cook, then you want to get up to where it's thick, to where the peaks stay. I don't know if you can see this very well, but they don't flatten out and don't die. Kind of like whipped cream. Then you just simply apply it all over your face, rub it in really well. Of course, it's going to be hot as best. You can do it cold. Some other options. I was shopping with my wife, or my wife was shopping, I was taking along, and ran by Crabtree and Evelyn. They had some men's stuff, so I went in there and they had this sandalwood. I was impressed by the box. It's actual sandalwood. Open lid. Of course, I've had this for a few years, and I used it a few times, wasn't too impressed. Smells awesome, but the properties of it weren't very smooth, didn't work very good, so I wasn't impressed. I'll probably dump it out and get something else, maybe. It's a nice backup though. You can pick up shaving soap at like Walmart and things, but it's not that good. It works though. I got this box, just a wooden box. Where did I get this from? Linens and things for $4. Just an impulse buy. This is what I keep most of my shaving junk in when I'm not using it. Like my old stuff. I'll put it in here and keep it in the bathroom. The measuring cup, I'll put that in there as well. And then I just set this right on top. And I leave it in the drawer, and it's nice and compact. Doesn't take up a lot of room. Well, that's my shaving. If you're interested and you want to know more about it, I'll be more than happy to do another video more in depth. Let you know some more details about how to do it, how not to do it. But there's a lot of videos about that. Leave me comments, good, bad, or indifferent. Thumbs up if you like what you saw. Thanks for watching, guys. Be safe out there.